the South still got something to say. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. So it looks like Verzuz is back. Now, I know a lot of us were unhappy by the way that Onyx and Cypress Hill battle went down, but it looks like Timbo and Swiss Beats are trying to redeem themselves. They had announced just last night that there will be a brand new Verzuz battle this Thursday between 8Ball and MJG and UGK. And guess what? You can watch it for free on IG. You don't have to go through all that Triller app bullshit. So we will be having two iconic and legendary Southern rap duos squaring off in Atlanta on Thursday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Both of these groups are Southern hip hop royalty. They're two influential duos who really helped to put the dirty South on the map, especially their own respective cities of Port Arthur, Texas, and Memphis, Tennessee. Both UGK and Ball and G were both hip-hop pioneers who were instrumental in defining much of the Southern hip-hop soundscape in the 90s, along with the Ghetto Boys and the whole Rap-A-Lot movement. You could even make the case that both Ball and G and UGK made some of the earliest forms of trap music. But the bottom line is it doesn't get more realer, more triller, or more Southern than 8Ball and MJG and UGK. When we talk about duos in hip-hop, UGK and Ball and G are easily two of my favorites across the board. Now, over the years, I've listened to a lot of Mobb Deep, a lot of Outkast, and a lot of Ray and Ghost. But on average, I might listen to UGK and Ball and G the most. UGK was repping for Port Arthur, Texas, but Houston will go on to claim them as one of their own. And of course, Ball and G hail from Orange Mound, Memphis, Tennessee. So I actually had the privilege of going to Memphis this past summer, and you know I had to go to Orange Mound and take some flicks, some pics, and pay homage to these rap vets. Now, both of these groups have classic albums and classic songs to their names. If we start with UGK, in 92, they dropped Too Hard to Swallow, then Super Tight in 94, and those were great early 90s Southern rap album. But their magnum opus would arrive in 1996 with Ridin' Dirty, and that's the album that was viewed as the classic, and that's when people outside the region of the South began to pay attention to what UGK had to say. And this was also around the time when Bun really perfected his flow. Case in point, that track Murder. I feel their follow-up, Dirty Money, in 2001 was very slept on, but it had a lot of bangers. Then Pimp C had to go away to do some time. Bun held down the fort, going strong on the feature front. Pimp came home around 07, and that's when they dropped their UGK double album, which was very well received. That same year, unfortunately, Pimp would pass, but Bun was left to hold it down like a trill OG is supposed to, and he went on to have an insanely successful solo career, murdering features left and right. When talking about Ball and G, their catalog was equally as impressive. Their debut coming out hard in 93 was instantly heralded as a Southern classic, and it was just a classic rap album overall. It opened up a lot of doors for other Southern groups out the M-Town like 3 6 Mafia. Their follow-up on The Outside Looking In was dope, and maybe not viewed as a classic, but it had classic anthems like Lay It Down. But their third album, On Top of the World, is a personal classic for me, and I think one of the most slept on albums coming out of 1995. And of course, their 1999 In Our Lifetime was one hell of an album. They did their bad boy shit with Puff after with their Living Legends project, which was cool, but I think most would agree that their best work was done when they were with Suave House. And 8Ball's Lost album is one of the most consistent double rap albums in history, in my opinion. And when talking features, 8Ball has a ton of great ones as well. So after watching the interview with Swizz and Timbo, it appears this Verzuz is going to be more like a celebration, unlike, the intense battle that we saw with Locks and Dipset, Gucci and Jeezy, and Bone in 3-6. And I'm not gonna hold you, I don't necessarily love the celebration versus as much, but I'm still very excited about this versus because these two legendary Southern groups will be sharing the stage, rocking out, and they will be given their flowers on a grand scale. It's going to be interesting to see what guest features they will bring to the stage. I can only imagine, given some of their extensive collaborations, it should be super lit. Now, who do I have winning? Well, it's unlikely to even be that kind of battle, but if I had to pick, I would give the slight edge to UGK, given their slightly more mainstream notoriety with tracks like Big Pimpin' and International Players Anthem. But personally, I would probably be rooting a little more for 8Ball and MJG. However, I do really love both groups equally. I guess it just depends on the week as to who I'm listening to or prefer more. I've always loved artists or groups who stay true to their regional sound and hip hop. And even with the fame, neither of these two groups switched up or sacrificed their sound. They always kept it trill. They always stayed 10 toes down, and they always kept it player. And I also feel it's going to be really interesting to see how Bun performs Pimp's verses. Will he do it himself, or will he just let the audio play, or will they get a hologram? Nah, that's they doing a little too much for a verses, but that would be super ill. Either way, I'm definitely hyped about this event. So let me know in the comment section who you have winning and why. Are you going to keep a scorecard? But it's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but make sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. 8Ball and MJG versus UGK. My thoughts on this upcoming battle. 1.